In this lesson, we will be talking about how to tackle exhibit interpretation questions. So, in case interviews, exhibit interpretations are quite common, right? So, you will be typically given a data exhibit and asked to interpret and derive insights, and maybe you need to execute certain quantitative analysis based on the data exhibit, and finally provide the implications. So, when an exhibit is provided to you in a case interview, the first thing that you should be doing is first scan the base parameters in the chart, right? Try to understand the information that is presented in the chart, right? For example, you could look at, okay, what is represented in the x-axis, what is represented in the y-axis. You could also see clarifying or ask clarifying questions from the interviewer, right, to fully grasp the information in the exhibit. Now, only after you have grasped the information in the exhibit, understood the information in the exhibit, only then you move to start interpreting the information, right? So here, when it comes to interpreting, focus on the key question, right, that you're solving, right? So maybe the key sub questions that you're solving, right? For example, if a cost exhibit is given to you, most likely you're trying to calculate what is the cost in the new context, right? For example, let's say it's a product launch case, and for this new product, you're trying to calculate what is the cost, right? So focus on that question, right? And the other thing that you need to do is always contextualize case specific information. Never interpret the information in the exhibit in isolation, right? Because you're not expected to only look at the information in the exhibit, right? There is the case context that has been given to you, right? And maybe there is other relevant information related to the case, I know, which is important for you to seek or which has already been provided to you, right? So contextualize this case specific information when you interpret the exhibit, right? Only then you will be able to derive meaningful insights, right? And this is very critical in MBB interviews. MBB interviews are not your simple solve and done math problems, right? In MBB interviews, there are a lot of layers, right? And you're expected to connect the dots, and therefore contextualization is very important. You are not conducting isolated problem solving in MBB interviews, right? And also other top tier consulting firm interviews, right? It's not isolated problem solving that you will be doing, right? You will be doing what I like to call multidimensional problem solving, where you need to connect multiple different data points to derive insights, right? And drive the discussion. And then if math is necessary, what you should be doing is lay out your structure, right? Lay out your analysis plan, right? Align it with the interviewer before you start performing the calculations. Never go silent, unannounced to the interviewer, right? Don't do it, right? Because then the interviewer has no clue what you're trying to do. And it is not very client friendly, right? You need to be extremely transparent with the interviewer in terms of the process that you will be following, right? And I would suggest walk the interview through your competitions, right? Because when you walk the interview through your competitions, if you make an arithmetic error, right, then the interview can help you, right? Because he understands that the process that you're following, the process that you've laid out is robust, right? Um, uh, Arithmetic mistakes are not very critical, right? For MBB interviews, right? Now, once you have executed the math and you've come to a quantitative answer, go one step further and talk about the implications. What does this result mean for the client's key question, right? Or in the context of the overall case objective, right? So never stop at a quantitative answer. Always synthesize, explain the implications of it, right? Talk about the so what of it. Now let's do some exhibit interpretation drills here.